Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Brace yourselves, because the NFL landscape in the NFC East might just be shifting in a way that many of us probably didn't see coming. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster move that could significantly bolster the Dallas Cowboys' defense and alter the division's power dynamics for the coming seasons. And no, we're not talking about just any trade. This is about acquiring Antoine Winfield Jr., the dynamic safety from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let me tell you, this isn't just rumor mill chatter. It's gaining momentum, and the implications are huge for the Cowboys' Super Bowl ambitions. So what's the scoop? Well, reports suggest that the Cowboys, currently sitting at a 3-5 record with a cap hit of around $31 million, are eyeing Winfield Jr. as a key piece to tighten their secondary. Now you might be thinking, why a safety? What makes Winfield Jr. such a game changer? Well, it's not just about his stats, though they are impressive. It's about what he brings to the table in terms of versatility, experience, and his ability to elevate a defense. The Cowboys are reportedly in discussions to acquire him from Tampa Bay, which is currently 4-4 and operating with a cap hit of about $15 million. The deal, as it's floated, is a third-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. But here's where it gets really interesting. Tampa Bay, facing cap constraints after the Mayfield signing that hits them with a $30 million cap charge, is looking to free up some space. They've already moved around some money by releasing $8 million to bolster their offensive line, but the broader strategy seems to be about rebuilding and prioritizing youth, especially on defense. The Buccaneers, despite having a defense ranked in the top 15 in points allowed per game at around 20, are looking to move assets that don't fit their long-term plans. Winfield Jr., who's been an All-Pro candidate in 2024 and ranks 15 in the top 100 for 2025, fits that youth movement perfectly. Let's talk about this guy, because his stats are eye-popping. In 2025, he's been lighting up the field with 38 solo tackles, 4 interceptions, 6 pass defenses, and even 2 forced fumbles. His overall PFF grade for the season sits at an impressive 86.4, which puts him in the elite tier of safeties. Over his career, he's amassed more than 280 tackles, 18 interceptions, 25 pass defenses, and 8 sacks. And if you look at the advanced metrics, his EPA per target is around 0.11, which is solid, and his fumble recovery rate of 15% shows his nose for the ball. What really makes him stand out, especially for the Cowboys, is his ability to play in the slot. He's been on 80% of snaps there, and his elite tackling, missing only about 8% of his attempts, which eclipses what we see from other safeties like McKinney, whose missed tackle rate hovers around 12%. That kind of reliability and playmaking ability could be a game changer for Dallas, especially considering their recent struggles in the back end. Now, injuries have been a part of his story in 2025, with a shoulder tweak in Week 5, but he's managed to play in 7 of 8 games, which speaks to his resilience. For Tampa Bay, despite the odds being at plus 2,000 for a Super Bowl win, they're clearly prioritizing the future and moving a player like Winfield Jr. makes sense as part of their rebuild. They're also looking to extend key players like Wirfs, with contracts approaching $25 million per year, which puts additional pressure on their cap. So the Buccaneers are making calculated moves to stay competitive, but also to set themselves up for the future, even if it means parting ways with a star like Winfield Jr. For Dallas, though, this potential trade could be a massive boost. Think about it, pairing Winfield Jr. with their current safety duo, especially with the emergence of McKinney, would create a tandem that can generate at least 14 or more interceptions over the course of the season. That's not just about adding numbers. It's about elevating the entire backend, making it one of the more versatile and aggressive secondaries in the league. This duo would give the Cowboys a real advantage on third down, where their stop rate could jump from the current 58% up to around 65%. That's a huge difference when it comes to keeping opposing offenses off the field, especially against teams like the Commanders, who are known for their zone-based attack and have a YAC, yards after catch, average of around 5.2 yards per reception. With Winfield Jr. in the mix, that YAC allowed could drop significantly, making it even harder for opponents to sustain drives. And let's not forget his run support. His grade there is around 82. One, which is very solid. Against teams like the Giants, who lean heavily on the run game and average about 150 rushing yards per game, having a safety who can come up and make plays is crucial. With Parsons and others creating pressure on the quarterback, adding Winfield Jr. into the mix strengthens the entire defensive front. Sacks could see a boost too, especially with Zimmer's schemes, which are known for generating pressure, and with Parsons already tallying 7. 5 sacks in 2024, that duo could push the sack numbers even higher, potentially increasing by 15% or more. Now, shifting to the offensive side, the Cowboys would also benefit from this defensive upgrade. They've been averaging about 2 extra minutes of possession per game, which might not sound like a lot, but it's huge in terms of controlling the clock, reducing opponent opportunities, and giving Dak Prescott more opportunities to connect with CeeDee Lamb, who's been their leading receiver with around 800 yards this season. Lamb has been exploiting mismatches, and with a more reliable secondary, the Cowboys could extend drives longer, keeping their offense fresh and more effective. This move, if it happens, could have ripple effects across the NFL landscape. For the Cowboys, it's about building a defensive backbone that can compete at the highest level, especially in the playoffs. The history of teams that rely on a strong safety core is filled with success stories. Think Minkah Fitzpatrick with the Steelers back in 2020, or the legendary Troy Polamalu, whose fumble recoveries in clutch moments became part of NFL lore. Winfield Jr. has that kind of potential to be a difference maker, a true X-factor, especially in high-stakes games. His playmaking ability, combined with his versatility, makes him exactly the kind of player that can turn a good defense into a great one, and a playoff contender into a Super Bowl favorite. Meanwhile, some analysts and fans are a bit skeptical about Tampa Bay's direction. After all, moving a player of Winfield Jr.'s caliber signals a clear shift towards rebuilding, and that's often accompanied by a degree of uncertainty. But for the Cowboys, it's a golden opportunity. They've been looking to shore up their secondary since the start of the season, especially after some vulnerabilities exposed in recent games. Adding a player like Winfield Jr. could be the missing piece that elevates their defense from good to elite, from playoff hopefuls to Super Bowl contenders. The clash of their current roster with a fresh, young talent who's proven he can perform under pressure might just be the spark they need to make a serious run. And as we look ahead, the potential impact extends beyond just this season. If the Cowboys can lock in Winfield Jr. on a long-term deal, they're not only adding a star to their roster, but also building a defensive core that could dominate for years to come. His ability to fit into multiple roles, his leadership qualities, and his knack for big plays make him a perfect fit for Dallas' defensive philosophy, which has historically thrived on creating turnovers and forcing mistakes. In terms of the overall division, this move could give the Cowboys a significant advantage. The NFC East has been fiercely competitive, with teams like the Eagles and the Giants always lurking. But if Dallas manages to bolster their secondary with someone like Winfield Jr., they could turn the division into their playground. The Giants, with their rushing-heavy offense, would find it harder to sustain drives, and the Eagles, despite their strong roster, would have to contend with a more aggressive, playmaking secondary in Dallas. It could be the difference between a division title and a wild card spot, and for the Cowboys, every game counts, especially in December, when playoffs are on the line. Now, looking at the broader picture, the NFL landscape is also watching closely. The Cowboys have been somewhat inconsistent this season, but a move like this signals their serious intent to contend. It's a statement. We're not here just to compete. We want to win it all. And with the NFL's parity, a single acquisition can change everything. Remember how teams like the Steelers in 2020 with Minkah Fitzpatrick turned their fortunes around mid-season, or how the Patriots in years past made bold moves that propelled them to Super Bowl glory. The NFL is a league where strategic trades and savvy signings often define champions, and I haven't even touched on the emotional aspect for Cowboys fans. For years, the team has been searching for that extra edge, that spark that can push them over the top. If this deal goes through, it's not just about adding a talented player, it's about signaling to the entire league that Dallas is serious about their Super Bowl pursuit. It's about the fans, the city of Dallas, and the franchise itself rallying behind a team that's willing to make bold moves to get back to the promised land. So what do you think? Will the Cowboys pull the trigger on this deal? Can Anton Winfield Jr. be the piece that finally pushes Dallas over the edge? The division is ripe for the taking, and with the right moves, the Cowboys could be on the verge of a resurgence that lasts for years. It's an exciting time for Dallas fans, and we'll be watching closely to see how this story unfolds. The NFL never sleeps, and neither do the Cowboys when it comes to building a championship-winning team. Stay tuned, because this could be just the beginning of something special for America's team. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And finally, folks, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Winfield Jr. is the missing piece for Dallas? Or do you think Tampa Bay is making a smart move by rebuilding with youth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means a lot to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, I'll be back soon with more news, updates, and insights into what's happening in the NFL and especially with our beloved Cowboys. So stay tuned, keep supporting the team, and let's keep the passion alive. This is your source for everything Dallas Cowboys, and I can't wait to see how this story develops. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.